Good day. Today I'm gonna be discussing a tutorial chapter we did. So over here we have this user profile where you can basically edit it. So you click edit and then make changes to it. So it's the same user profile application we built in chapter 6 with HTMX. Right. Same functionality where you can edit and make some changes to it. But the difference is in our code, we've brought HTMX syntax and the functions from our chapter 6. We brought that into our Django project that we created. So into our Django virtual environment. And yeah, so let's jump into the code. So this is the functions that are brought into views.py. So firstly here we have this profile view, which is basically just rendering some data to the index.html, so you can basically see the front page when the user visits the page. Then here I have this edit profile function. This is responsible for displaying an HTML form, right? So the user can basically edit the profile. So basically it passes or let me say it returns an HTTP response, and that response is all of this raw HTML code over here, right? Or let me say this HTML form. This HTML form is the new data that's displayed in the front end. So it has specific attributes, the HTMX that we've incorporated into our Django. So firstly, we have this HX put, where it's making a put request basically to the update profile when it's submitted, right? So we use that HX put so that when we make changes to the form in the front end, right? When we make changes to the form and we click save changes, then that put request is basically called to this URL. Then we have HX target this. This replaces the form with the new response from the server, which is this new form over here. Then we basically have HX swap, right, which basically swaps the entire form with the returned content. So after the user basically edits the form, it swaps it with new data, which is the edited data that it shows in the front end. Then we have, that's HX swap, and then we also have this here, HX get user. This is basically a get function, right? Or let me say this get request that's being made to this user URL. So basically this get request is being made here so that we're able to make changes, or when we click the edit button, it works, and then we can edit the form. Then we have basically we have a cancel button as well. Where is it? Here. This cancel button is just for when you want to cancel whatever changes you are making. Then jumping into this function, update profile. This is for handling the put request. And it simply handles the put request, and it has this if statement over here for the put request. Then this request body decode basically extracts the raw request data, and then over here we basically, the data is extracted using this and this, right? So it uses put.get to extract the name and the bio. Then this HTTP response basically just has this response here, which is this raw HTML data that is displayed in the front end, and it has HTMX syntaxes as well, like hx target this, and also hx swap, which is basically it replaces the form with this new data basically. And then you can see the name is passed here as well as the bio, and then you have a user ID. So those are the functions brought into the views.py for handling basically the put request, updating the profile, and also like for editing the profile. Then this urls.py has URL patterns. So this is for when the user visits the profile page. This URL pattern here is for editing the profile. So it returns the form to edit the profile, right? So that new form, which is basically here, returns that. And this URL pattern basically is for like the updated profile. So the updated profile is then returned because of the put the put request. That's where this URL pattern comes in. Then basically we also have the index.html over here. This is just for the front end. You can see the HTMX syntax incorporated here, like hxget, which is basically making a get request to the URL in order to edit the form. And then you have this click to edit with this URL passed to it. And yeah, that's basically the project, just bringing HTMX into our Django project. So here, this is basically the final display. So it creates a user profile, and then you're able to update it and save the changes.